you ever plan to motor west, take my way, that old highway, that's the best. I get your kicks on Route 66.
Hello, my name is Charlene Braddock. I am a second grade teacher at Waynesburg Central Elementary School. I would like to introduce my husband, Phil Braddock, who is also a second grade teacher. We are learning about Route 66 in one of our big books, Greetings from Route 66. Mr. Braddock will now share his personal Route 66 memories with us.
It's been my good fortune to have traveled Route 66 3 times during my life. The first time I was 3, then at 13, and again at 17. We started in Santa Monica, California, right beside the Pacific Ocean, all 3 times. This is called the Palisades. This was one of the very first highways that was ever built in the United States, and it was built back in 1926. After we got out of the city and we started across the Mojave Desert, it was very hot, 115 degrees in the shade. We had to tie canvas bags full of water on the front of the car in case we overheated. Fortunately, we didn't. We saw little mini twisters in the sand along the way and many saguaro cactus. After crossing the desert, we got to the Grand Canyon, and that's in Arizona. It was beautiful. So many different colors in the walls of the canyon from the different mineral deposits in the sandstone. At the widest point, the canyon is 1 mile across and 1 mile deep. It's hard to imagine that this canyon was made by the flow of the Colorado River over thousands of years. Following the Grand Canyon, we saw some Indian homes built in the side of a plateau. They were built by the Navajo Indians. These homes were perfect for keeping their enemies out. They were called the Cliff Dweller Indians. In New Mexico, we saw more Indian homes built by the Plains Indians. They were called adobe houses. The bricks were made of mud and grass. All along Route 66, you would see small cafes and filling stations like this. You could also find very unusual places to stay, like the Teepee Village. In 1954, most nice motels were $2 to $3 a night. Really nice ones were $5 a night. As we moved on into Texas, we saw many longhorn cattle and herds of buffalo. Adrian, Texas was the halfway point on Route 66, about 1,000 miles now from Santa Monica. Through the area, we saw many cowboys. One of the most famous cowboys we learned about was Will Rogers. He came from Claremore, Oklahoma. Route 66 was renamed the Will Rogers Highway in 1952. He was a humorist, or comedian, a world traveler, and a good neighbor. Will was loved by all men. Then we visited an Indian trading post and saw an Indian dance. There was only 12 miles of Route 66 in Kansas, very flat, straight roads through farmlands of wheat. In Missouri, we saw the Merrimack Caverns. Back in the 1870s, it was used as a hideout for Frank and Jesse James, two very famous outlaws. We then moved on to St. Louis, where we visited the giant arch. When you go up into the arch, you can get a really good view of the Mississippi River, and you may even see some riverboats. Finally, we got into Illinois. In Springfield, we visited our 16th president's home. Everywhere you look, you can find things about Lincoln. We finally ended up in Chicago. We traveled through 8 states in 1 week. What a wonderful trip.
Thank you, Mr. Braddock. That was very, very interesting.
If you ever plan to motor west, take my way, that old highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66.